Well, welcome to 2022, and what happens to be a very snowy day in Ontario, Canada. I went 2 for 4 in the quarterfinals. I did make some money because Michael Smith hit, but 50% is not that great. Hopefully I do better in the semifinals. I'll give you my quarterfinals. I'm going to talk a little bit about James Wade's nonsense, a little bit about the crowd's nonsense with Price and how some right handled it much differently than Price. And I think we've got one great semifinal and one that I think is a trip out to the woodshed. I'll give my predictions in just a second. All right, the quarterfinals, let's give a little recap of that, and then I'll give you my semifinal predictions. I'm going to talk a little bit about the crowd and where I think things you can probably do about the crowd. I don't personally see this crowd as being, you pay your money, you do what you do. There's no rules, so maybe that's part of it. You set rules. But I think it's more about person losing and needing something to blame and not taking any accountability versus this. Yeah, I would hate to be called a, like, what are they, somebody else, what are they calling Gerwyn Price? What are they calling him that could possibly be the worst thing you could ever call someone? I'm thinking about, I'm playing darts. And the crap that would probably get under my skin is if you said something about my daughter, my wife, my parents, my sister. If you said something about me, I don't give a rat's ass. What can you call me? You're an asshole. Yes, I am. You like to do this certain thing that I don't like to do. Good one. I like the comment that Gary Anderson said about, you know, I'm a rhino skin. First of all, Gary doesn't have rhino skin. But second of all, yeah, I'm playing darts. You don't want me to win? Okay. Fire away. I mean, there should be limits, right? It shouldn't be anything about your family. It's a bit directed at you, or because you're Scottish. Like, that's what the big thing has been. Scottish get bashed all the day. I didn't even know that was the song, but they've been singing it to Suter. They've been singing it to Anderson. They've been singing it to write how they do it. They did well. So maybe what I'll do is I'll get into the games first, and then I'll get back more onto that rant. But to me, like, what I would love for Gerwyn Price to call them cheats. What are they cheat? How is a crowd cheating you? Tell me, did they break a rule when they joined into Ali Palace yesterday? Were they given a set of rules and said, you shall not do this? Maybe they should, and that's what I think will be a solution to the problem. Here are ground rules. You break them, you're gone. If you're not given ground rules and you're feeding them alcohol and they're dressed like bloody Super Mario Brothers, do I expect them to go, yay, Gerwyn Price, bravo, Gerwyn, bravo. Oh, what a shot, Gary Anderson. What a shot. That's what they're supposed to do. They're going to get rowdy. And no personal thing against Gerwyn Price, but he's earned it. This, he's freaking Hulk Hogan going to the crowd every single time. Oh, the crowd gets on him. The minute he hits a double, the crowd. What do you think they're going to do next? Go, oh, well, he just challenged us back, so you know what we'll do now? Bravo, Gerwyn Price. Bravo. What a double 20. Bravo. Oh, Gerwyn, you missed the double 16. Or you missed your 2 match darts. Oh, such a shame, Gerwyn. Would you like a cookie? I think Gerwyn Price is a baby. I'll be honest with you. He's got that mentality that winners do. I'll give him that. He's a great dart player, so let me just get away from that. He's the guy who says, I don't care about the crowd, but he obviously does. Like, he talks like, oh, I don't care. But then he calls him a cheater. Well, which one is it? You care or you don't care? What Gerwyn Price is a person who cannot accept losing. And so by not accepting losing, he's got to find a way for the reason why he lost. And last night, it started to go bad, and he heard the crowd. Michael Smith said it right. The guy was talking the whole time. He was cheering for me. It even put me off, is what he said. But all of a sudden, Gerwyn Price noticed it when the pressure was on. I don't know. Do I think darts fans should be whistling? No. I'm telling you, some of the worst crowds you're going to get, if you watch it, is the European crowds. If you're playing a German, you are getting whistled. Calling out at the wrong time when you're throwing a dart is going to cause something. Yes, it will. But if the crowd's totally boisterous, I can get it. If I'm about to throw a dart and someone calls me an asshole as I'm releasing the dart, it's going to affect my dart. There's no doubt. But you like to think that that's why you have people in the stands to monitor this stuff. Like, they're singing songs. Okay, they're singing songs. Whistling, that's terrible. But this is where you should set ground rules. Let's whistle. Now, we'll get into the games, but Peter Wright was also getting booed, whistled. He did one come back and shh. But, you know, after the match, he's being asked about it. Well, they're booing you. He's like, what are you going to do? Let them do what they want. It doesn't affect me. And I don't see him complaining about crowds. I've never seen Peter Wright. Now, granted, he's usually being cheered, but I've never seen him complain about crowds. He got booed during the Players' Championship playing Ryan Searle. Got absolutely destroyed, booed. After the Adrian Lewis incident, he was booed the whole time. Didn't affect him. And I don't see him complaining about it. Anyways, I'll get into, maybe if he loses a game, he complains about it. I don't know. I just don't see it. But let's get into the games yesterday. First of all, James Wade, Mervyn King. Yeah, I'd rather watch paint dry. Let's be honest. That was a horrible game. Let's face facts. The next game up, Luke Humphries and Gary Anderson. Both averaged high 90s. King and Wade both averaged low 80s. One of them got through. Wouldn't it have been a lot? Gerwin Price should be it should be Gerwin Price, Michael Smith semifinal, Gary Anderson, Peter Wright semifinal. Isn't that a better semifinal? We got to get James Wade in there. Anyways, James Wade wins 5-0. Luke Humphries got beat by Gary Anderson. This is where experience comes into play. I know Luke Humphries has played a couple quarterfinals, but there were moments in that game where Gary Anderson missed doubles, or he had a low score and Humphries just followed with that low score. And you just go, no, you can't do that. If Gary opens the door, you got to hit him with a 140. You watch some of those players, like Wade is a great example. Wright's another example. Johnny Clayton, Michael Van Gerwen. You put a 50 or a 60 up there and you're throwing, you know what's coming back at you. It's going to be a 140. It's at minimum. They're going to punish you and put you under pressure. What was happening was when Gary had a bad throw, Luke would have a bad throw. It was just like 42. Well, here's a 43 back at you. It just needs that little killer instinct. I think Luke Humphries, first of all, young player, great player. I'm telling you, when we talk about Colin Ritz, this is the future of the game. You got two low 50s Scottish guys in the semifinal. They're not going to be here for the next 10 years. Watching Luke Humphries and Colin Ritz play for the next 10 years is going to be an absolute joy. But Gary Anderson able to get the experience over the line. The next game up, I keep saying, have I watched the best game ever? I thought I did. I thought, oh, the Borland Bradley Brooks game was fantastic. It was. Then I watched Daryl Gurney, Rob Cross. Fantastic. Then I watched Michael Smith, Johnny Clayton. I go, come on. This is ridiculous. And then you watch Peter Wright against Colin Ritz. And you go, that's first set of Colin Ritz. This is the thing with Colin Ritz. Colin Ritz beat him, by the way. They played on the European Tour again. It would have been 6-2. Didn't miss a double. Didn't miss a double. Boom. Oh, what do I got? 106. Boom, boom, boom. 106. Oh, I got 106. Boom, boom. 106. Oh, I got 105 this time. Boom, boom. 105. Done. See you. I'm done. That is insane. Peter Wright's averaging, I think he was averaging 105 and he was down 2-0 in sets. But the problem with Ritz would have had him. Well, Ritz would have had him if it was a best of 7 sets, a best of 5 sets, he would have had him. That's the issue. Same with Humphries. What they've got to learn is you just can't bang them and then just all of a sudden take a set off and have an 82 average set, especially against a guy like Wright. It ain't going to work. Wright, if you can see, he had one bad set, but he was consistently in the hundreds for pretty much the entire sets. These guys both averaged the hundreds. Now think about this. What would Colin Ritz have done to James Wade? Like, why do we have James Wade in a effing semifinal? It's ridiculous. It's just an easy draw. This is where I got mad at Joe Cullen. Like, God damn, you can't get an easier draw than that. What has James Wade played? Mike Kyvenhoven, who's the guy, the name's losing me, Mervyn King, and the big tall guy, Martin Clearmacher. Sorry about that, lost the name for a bit. That's who he's played, he's in the semifinals. Well, who's Michael Smith played? Muhlenkamp, yeah, okay. William O'Connor, good player. Johnny Clayton, Gerwin Price. A little bit better competition. Anyways, it is what it is. But Peter Wright, again, it's experience taking over. What happened? Rich started hitting 41s. Yes, he missed a 72, but I'll go back a couple legs. He had 74 left, and he hit the single 1, and he had a single 3. This is just, you can't do that. You just can't do that. That's where you can see nerves get in the game. Wright was nervous. And matter of fact, he only hit a 9-darter too. This is the crazy thing. There was a 9-darter by Price, but what did Wright have? 17 180s? Like, this is ridiculous. Even Wright was feeling it, but Wright's got that. He knows it. Wright's blown games in the past. So I know I saw Ritz got really upset, and he was having a cry in the back, and I can see why he's disappointed. I can see it. You know, Wright's even mentioned in the past, I had a cry in the corner after I lost to Gary Anderson in a quarterfinal. I missed doubles. Let's think about Peter Wright. I think Calvin Ritz can learn a lot from Peter Wright. I know people got on Peter Wright because he didn't praise him. Didn't he just compare him to Johnny Clayton? Okay, I guess that's not praise. Sorry, Johnny. I took that as a really praiseful thing. Like, you're out of the set and boom, he hits a 180, he's back in it. Like, that's okay. Anyways, but if you go back to Peter Wright, he missed 6 doubles to beat Michael Van Gerwen in the Premier League. How many times did he miss doubles in the Champions League to beat Van Gerwen? He missed doubles. I think Ritz can learn from this. He missed a double, but he hit doubles at the beginning of this match like nobody's business. But when it came down to the pressure, that's what he's got to learn. He's got the scoring. I think he throws too fast. That's my personal opinion. I think he can work on that. But there's a lot to be learned. So I know Calvin Ritz is down on him. So I think that's a good thing too. I think Wayne Marlowe might have mentioned something about that's a good thing. You don't want to be happy. I don't want to go, oh, I played really, really well. You want to go, I'm pissed. So I think Ritz has got a lot of great things ahead of him. But again, right over the door, 5-4. And then Smith Price, just a fantastic match. 9 darters, 180s coming out of everywhere. 2 match darts missed by Gerwin Price. And then Smith over the line. I've got into the Price fan stuff. Again, to beat this, you have rules. You walk into an arena, you pay your ticket. Here are the rules of engagement. You can't whistle. You can't say anything. Maybe if you got to get into a rule, a swear word, I don't know. You got to get into something and say, here are the rules of engagement when you walk into an arena. And then you have to make sure you're supplying beer to these people. You're asking them to dress up. How are you going to maintain this? You're going to have security. Like, if you really want this crowd to be like this, then you're going to have people monitoring the crowd. And if they break a rule, you kick them out. If you really want to do this, this is how you do it. You set rules and you follow them. If you don't set rules, you can't get mad at a guy screaming a comment all of a sudden, or a lady whistling, or whatever it might be. I just think Gerwin Price puts it on himself. Sending out the Instagram of cheats afterwards, what do you think that's going to do to the next crowd? Oh, but I don't care about the crowd. Well, yeah, you do. You're an idiot. You obviously care about the crowd because you complain about the crowd. Oh, I don't care about the crowd. No, you effing do. People that don't care about the crowd don't put Instagram cheats or don't do the GOAT comment. I get it. You're pissed that they're yelling at you. Why were they yelling at you, Gerwin Price, by the way? Why are they yelling at you? I've said this before in a video. Why do you think they're yelling at you? Because you don't care? Is that why they're yelling at you? Because you don't care. So that's the reason why they're yelling at you. No, it's because you acted like a goof. You've done the pantomime villain thing. This is your thing. You want to be. You pose at the crowd. You scream all over the place. What do you think the crowd's supposed to do? Again, bravo, Gerwin, bravo. Piss off. Stop saying you don't care about the crowd. At least tell a goddamn honest answer. Jesus Christ. Obviously you care about the crowd. You know who didn't care about the crowd? Peter Wright. Because when he got asked the question, he went, no, the crowd can do what they want. I've got to hit the double. Dart's in my hand. I got to hit it. Anyways, let's get into the semifinals for today. Unfortunately, we have James Wade. Now, I'm going to get in, obviously, in the finals. We're going to be talking about the Premier League. I'm just going to ask a question. Does anyone want to watch James Wade play darts? Anyone? If you were to pick the top 10 people you want to watch darts, I'm going to say the top 50 people of watching darts. Would you pick James Wade in the top 50? He's a decent player, but he's a sod. I heard this comment. I kind of like it. I'd rather you shit in your hand and then shake my hand than listen to James Wade speak. No one wants him in the Premier League. He got interviewed yesterday and wouldn't look at the person that asked him the question. You want to talk about disrespectful? If someone asks you a question and you're not looking at them and you're looking up there and then you say, oh, you and Wayne Mardle don't want me to win? When did Wayne Mardle say he didn't want James Wade to win? Oh, I'm sorry. He picked Mervyn King. So did I. That doesn't mean I don't like James Wade. Actually, I don't like James Wade, but as a dart player, I respect his game. Again, just where the next guy who asks him a question, he looks him right in the eye. James Wade is the literal, like he's again, I'd rather you shit in your hand and shake my hand than have to even spend a minute around James Wade or hear a thing that man could possibly talk about. This guy shouldn't be in the Premier League. No one wants him in the Premier League. Tell me one fan that would want James Wade in the Premier League. Give me one. Outside of his family, who is cheering for him today? There can't be anyone that's cheering for him. People will be cheering for Michael Smith. Michael Smith's a better player to watch. Now, take away this. James Wade's record against Michael Smith on TV is dominant. James Wade beats Michael Smith. Michael Smith's bloody banana peel is James Wade. Now, most of the times they've played, it's been a leg play. It hasn't been set play. This is a long matchup today. James Wade is going to steal a leg from you. That's what he does. You outscore him. You're on 16. He's at 132, and he pops it. And you go, the guy hit like 60 2 straight times, and then this is what Wade does. What I've liked about Smith is the way when he gets hit with something, even Price hit him with some good stuff. And he just went, and then even when Price gave that, rah, rah, Smith just looked at him and said, whatever, I'm throwing darts. I like that. So when Wade does steal a set, because he's going to steal a couple sets from Smith, where before Smith, when he played Wade, would go, oh, here I go again. This guy's going to start taking out crazy numbers, and I'm sitting here doing nothing. I like the fact that he's been playing, and he's got a lot of experience with people hitting big numbers on him. Because James Wade will hit numbers on him. He will. Even though I don't like the guy. He's a good dart player. But I like James. You got to think Michael Smith's got to get to the final here. This is his year. If James Wade wins, can you imagine James Wade in the final? I bet you Sky Sports are like me. Like they might switch out the dartboard, or they'll put like an extra weight in James Wade's darts when they're not looking. They do not want. I'm telling you, get all of the analysts, get all the sports people, get all the marketing people, and say, what final do you want tomorrow? And I guarantee James Wade is not in that name conversation. I will absolutely guarantee it to you. Who do you want in the Premier League? If you got all of the people that decide the Premier League, Sky Sports and all the PDC, not one of them wants James Wade in there. Not one of them. I wonder why. Because he's the fourth player of the world, or because when he does interviews like that, where he blames Wayne Mardle and I've won more than Wayne Mardle. No, you know what? The World Championship? Wayne Mardle's got a better record than you. So shut up. Anyways, I'm hoping Michael Smith wins. I think he will win. I just like the way he's been consistent. I'm going to take Michael Smith. Again, Wade's going to take some sets. I'm going to take Michael Smith to win 6-3. Next matchup up. This is barn burner out the door. I don't know what the Scottish fans are going to do, or the English fans are going to do. They're going to say Scotland's not going to win. Well, you're guaranteed to have a Scottish guy in the final, and they're guaranteed to have an English guy in the final, so the final should be interesting. But you got Peter Wright against Gary Anderson. Now, history-wise, you take Anderson every single day. Anderson's got the advantage. Wright recently has the advantage. If you take a look at who's played better, I think, personally, Wright's been the better player. He's had the better challenge. Once he switched, he had 2 sets with those disgusting looking darts. But before that and after that, he's played magnificent. Kellen Ridge blitzed him. Absolutely blitzed him. Gary Anderson's going to blitz him. I just think he's going to react well. Now, someone made a comment, how do I bet against Gary Anderson? I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. You look in the history, Gary Anderson has Peter Wright's number in World Championship play. I don't know. I just think it's the year. I think a Peter Wright, Michael Smith final with all that goes with it. Peter Wright never losing to him on TV. Or you get the Gary Anderson, Michael Smith final where you got the teacher against the mentor. They both line up to really good finals. We need Michael Smith to win. We need Michael Smith to win. If Gary Anderson wins, I'm not going to be upset about this at all. I think it's fantastic. I just think Peter Wright's just a better player. So I'm going to take Peter Wright to win at 6-5. I think it's going to go the full shebang. Again, the one thing I worry about is Peter Wright has a lot of respect for Gary Anderson. Is that going to affect his game? I saw what happened to him when he did it with Phil Taylor. You got to go in trying to kill him. And I think Peter Wright's going to go with a little bit of respect. But again, you got a long matchup. There's time to catch up. Wouldn't be surprised if Anderson gets up early and then Wright comes back. But 6-5. So that would set up a matchup of Michael Smith and Peter Wright in the final, which I think will be a doozy. I'm kind of leaning towards it's Michael Smith's year this year, but we'll see how it goes. But anyways, again, I see how the predictions go. I will give my final predictions, and in those final predictions, I'll also pick my Premier League, who I think will be in the Premier League. They usually make the announcement after the World Championships. They might hold back to the Masters. I don't know. But I'll give you my prediction or my picks at the time for the Premier League, as well as who's going to win the final. So hope, and again, bets wise, I'm not making any bets today. And the reason why is the people that I like to win are they're too high ranked. I think last time I checked, Anderson's plus 200. So if you want to go on someone, go against Anderson. You got a chance there. I believe Wade is, or Michael Smith's minus 275. So I don't know what that puts Wade at, but I don't see Wade winning. Although you never know, Wade does have a fantastic record against Michael Smith. You just think this is a different Michael Smith. Hopefully it is. And we get a Smith versus either Wright or Anderson final. I'm picking Wright. Not going to be disappointed if it's Anderson either. Hope everyone enjoys the darts. Cheers. Bye.